Awesome.
Welcome everyone to our Sweet Aroma weekly teen chat. We're so glad to have you guys on today. And thank you for taking time out of your busy schedules. I know so many of you have children and busy lives and work, but I appreciate you investing this 30 minutes into your business. And tonight our guest is Kelly Tenney, superstar director. She is such a great friend and a true leader, and I appreciate her so much. I think we initially met in Greece. Yeah. We have one on the call that was in Greece with us too. Jennifer Storr was in Greece with us as well.
So good. So good.
So I'm going to go ahead and turn it over to her, and she's going to share a little bit of her Scentsy story with us, and we'll go from there.
So excited
Awesome.
to listen.
Awesome. I'm excited that you're here. Like Martha said, I'm Kelly. I am a lot of things. Crazy, a mom of 4, very busy work-at-home mom. That has been my realization this summer, is that I am not a stay-at-home mom. I always was like, oh yeah, I stay at home. And then at some point this summer, I realized I'm not a stay-at-home mom. I'm a very, very much so a work-at-home mom. I work a lot and kind of took authority of my business in the sense of, this is my business. So I'm going to tell you a little bit about myself. I don't know how your guys' Zooms normally go, so I hope that this jives and does well. I've been selling Scentsy for 7.5 years. My longest standing commitment outside of my marriage, because I am a serial job jumper. But I started Scentsy just because I wanted to try to make some extra cash. My husband is in ministry, though I will not be emotional, I promise. He is actually, we are taking time off. This is our last Sunday this week. So it's been a journey. Oh my gosh. But I started selling Scentsy 7.5 years ago because we worked for a church, and in churches you don't make a lot of money. And I didn't graduate from college, and I almost didn't graduate from high school. And really all I had to offer in my house was I cleaned toilets well. And I babysat people's kids because I had kids. And we were really penny to penny. Our whole life was more bills than we made money. But there's only so much time in a day, right? And we had to do what we had to do. So I started selling Scentsy, and something happened. I started booking parties. I started talking to people about joining, and we went from directorship to superstar director in less than our first 2 years of being in business. And it was so eye-opening to see not only the change that happened in our life, because I will tell you, it was a huge change, but the change that happened in the lives of the people in our downline. I think that was the craziest and the coolest part, was to go, oh my gosh, we can buy groceries. Oh my gosh, our friends can buy groceries. It wasn't just us finding value. It was our downline who became some of my closest friends, some of my strongest directors. But I feel like if I hadn't started in such a hardship, I wouldn't be where I am. There's so much beauty that happens in the struggle and in the growth. I don't know if you guys, I don't know who I know on here, but if you follow me on Facebook, I'm pretty transparent about, the personal journey of life. And I think that in Scentsy, it has such a unique way to partner with our personal journey, as we walk through hardship, to see all of the good that can come after we work so hard towards something, even when it doesn't feel like it's working, then to come out on the other side and just be totally blessed by the journey that we were on and didn't even realize that we were on. And I really think that was the beginning of our Scentsy journey years ago. I had no clue that the seeds that were planted in front of me were going to bloom in the way that they did. Allison Dalkey, she is a superstar director. She posted something the other day that kind of goes along with those thoughts. She said, in our instant gratification society, we forget how hard work works. We need something, so we feel like we have to get it, and then that's it. And if it doesn't work, we'll just move on to the next thing. And when she said it, I was like, oh my gosh, that is so 7.5 years in the making. That is my life right now. What will it look like in 7.5 years from now? And I really have to ask myself that question. And maybe you do too. I don't know what your businesses are like. If you've been in for a while, which I have, and I've gone through very, very, very many seasons of burnout. Many times I asked myself, is this right? Should I be doing this? Am I failing? I'm not doing this good enough. I'll never be good enough. I mean, I will own my criticism. I'm my worst critic. But many times do I say, oh, I just don't think I have it in me. I don't know that I'm cut out for this, because owning your own business is hard work. Owning your own business is all about what's in here. And what's in here is going to come out on top when you work really hard. It just sometimes takes time. But I look back over 7.5 years, and I love to look at the beginning of my journey. I don't know if you know that you can go in your account and your workstation under your accounts tab and see your paychecks month by month. But I love to look back and go, oh my gosh, remember where I started? Remember when that was the world to be able to buy groceries? We went to our food pantry at our church after hours. I was so mortified because I couldn't buy groceries for my family. My mom would drive. I don't live close to family. She would drive about 3 hours, and she would open up her trunk and have toilet paper and dishwasher tablets and salt and pepper shakers and diapers and wipes. And we were just not in a position of living. And now I look back and I'm like, my husband quit his full-time job a year ago to start his own journey. He builds websites for churches because he is a pastor. He understands that that's his niche, that's his passion. And, you know, it has been so unbelievable to see only 7 years. I mean, guys, 7 years is not really a long time, right? I've had 2 more kids in that time frame. 7 years, we have gone from not rags to riches. We have gone from brokenness and struggle to gratitude and more than survival. We are living, and it's only going to get more incredible. And I told my directorship, I don't know if your director's on here or if what your rank is. I have about 45 directors under me. And I told my directorship the other day, because so many of them struggle. So many of them have gone to superstar consultant. So many of them have struggled with carrying title or losing teammates or even their own passion. And I said, my words were mulling. I've been mulling over this. I have been mourning over this. I've been working through these feelings lately of trying to really figure out how can we move forward and have the best 7 years before us. And the reality is, I think that's where it brings us to in this moment. And that is, we just have to accept this gift that's in front of us, because you guys, it's the best gift that I've ever been given in my life. And if who have literally, I have a hard time even getting my words from my head to my mouth. So genuinely, I struggle. I struggle with learning. I struggle with self-confidence. I struggle with worth. I struggle with everything. I would put everything in the category. But if I had no friends and nothing going for me and no colleges chosen in high school and no career chosen, I was like, I used to take my grade card, my report card, and bring it in the shower and wash it so my mom could see the letters on it. I mean, it was that bad. I mean, I really there was nothing I was working toward in life because I couldn't. I didn't have the brain structure. I didn't have the friends. I didn't have the confidence. I had nothing. And then Scentsy happened. And in Scentsy, I learned we all have really different strengths. But in this business, every single one of those strengths work. And sometimes it gets hard. And sometimes, like, I just had lunch. I just walked in the door 2 minutes ago. I had dinner with one of my downline. She was like, oh, Kelly, I just think I hit a wall in the summer. And I was like, yeah, you did, because it's summer. Like, walls happen in the summer. That's okay. We don't always know it. We don't realize that those walls they're just there. You just have to find the door and walk through it. But when you do, what is before you is what's life-changing. And I think that's what I want to bring to you today. I asked Martha what she needed, if it was training or if it was inspiration. Because inspiration is my go-to, because I feel like you have all the training in the world in front of you. Hop on YouTube and look up the word Scentsy. You can watch trainings until, the rest of your life. You wouldn't even finish them all. There are so many trainings. The workstation, everything you need to know, everything you need for sit down, look at this, do this, and here's the result. Everything you need between those two places, and Audible, because that's my favorite, to listen to books to learn from. But inspiration, you need that every single day to wake up. You need it every single day to say, this is worth it. I want to do this. This has value. And here's what I came to. And some of you saw it potentially on a recording I did. But I asked myself this question: what if my sponsor never asked me to join Scentsy? And the thought of that came, and if recruiting is something you struggle with, this is what I want you to hear. This thought process came to me when I thought, why did I join Scentsy? Why did I join? I realized everybody joined Scentsy for one reason. They joined Scentsy because they like the fragrance. They like the product. People don't join Scentsy saying they want to be a superstar director. People don't join Scentsy saying, I want to quit my job and my husband quit his job and work at $5 million home. People join Scentsy because they love the product. How did I get the product? Well, my sponsor, who lives in Oklahoma, I live in Ohio, my sponsor's mother-in-law had her daughter, that's her, come to Ohio and do a party. And I didn't go because I didn't like direct sales. So that was that. And all of my friends bought Scentsy. So they were like, Kelly, you should sell Scentsy. You need extra money. I was wedding coordinating, cleaning toilets, bartering haircuts for cleaning somebody's house. The list of things. I watched, 10 different kids and cleaned houses, and every odds and end I could do, I did to make money. And they were like, you should sell this. And I said, no, I have no desire to do direct sales. And that was like September. And in December, her mother-in-law bought me a warmer, a plug-in, Groovy Rest, and a Snowberry bar, and gave it to me as a Christmas gift. And it sat in my house for like a week. And I was like, I should check that out. And I opened it up and I plugged it in. I can remember it. We were in our apartment, which I now live in a house that I bought because of Scentsy. And we were in our apartment, and I left and I came home, and I walked in my house and I was like, oh my gosh, that smells so good. That is amazing. And I fell in love with the product that day. And I signed 2 days before Christmas. So let's be honest, nobody signs 2 days before Christmas. Does not build your business. That is the end of the best-selling season. And really, right? It is the end of the best-selling season. I had no clue what I was doing. I had no clue, but I loved the product. So I joined. What if she never gave me that warmer? Not what if she never asked me to join. She didn't really ask me to join. I kind of asked myself. If she had never given me that warmer and never exposed me to the fragrance, I would never have joined Scentsy. What I have in my life right now because of Scentsy. The other day, we sat around. I love to look back. And we added up all my commission over the years. Tears in my eyes thinking, I did that. I built this business from nothing. How incredible of an opportunity is out there. And if somebody didn't give me a warmer, I never would have joined. So I asked the join, or what if opportunity didn't come in your life? Because I think we pass things up because we think, oh, they don't want to join. There's a million direct sales companies out there. Oh, they do this company. Oh, they're looking for such and such, right? But when you come to a customer who loves the product, you don't ask them to join. You might be walking away from an opportunity that could change their life. It will change your life. You already have a life that's, obviously, if you're committed to Scentsy, you're growing a business. You're working a business. You are experiencing incredible things. But what about them? I have been going at my business from the wrong perspective for the last couple of years, which was, oh, come work for us. I have all these great friends. Oh, I get to travel. This is so great. Oh, my husband quit his job and started his own business. Isn't that awesome? But here's the reality. That is intangible. People are not going to join my team because my husband quit his job. Because most husbands will not think that there's a reality to the fact that my husband quit his job. It isn't tangible. You can't touch that. But the wax and the warmers, the product that Scentsy's putting out, because to me, everything goes back to wax and warmers. Like, that's the foundation. Putting the fragrances in front of people will change their life. And when people say it's more than wax and warmers, we always go, oh yeah, it's more than wax and warmers. Yeah, I have friends and confidence. But the reality is, it is more than wax and warmers. Because now it's my last two children that we had. We could not have, obviously, I told you, we could never have a phone and a home and a reliable car. And the best, the giving that we get to do. Those are why I do Scentsy. So ask yourself, what if and why? Why do you do Scentsy? I had this conversation tonight with my downline. She said, Kelly, I was so poor and I was a single mom of 3 kids. And she has a husband now and they have this beautiful life. But her youngest child's in ninth, her youngest is in 9th grade. Her other kids are grown and out of school. And she was like, I love it when he says, oh, Mom, I really wish and he said, something that he would like to have, but it's just out of reach. And she takes her money from a pay card. She's like, let's go get it. Or she said, I love to just say, hey, today's payday. Let's go on a date. Anywhere you want to go, let's go. This is her and her son. She's like, all of the things I missed getting to do with my kids because I didn't have the ability to or the money to. And I was like, Lori, this is your why. Your why is to supply these beautiful memories with your son. Scentsy is your way. Realizing that Scentsy is an opportunity. It's not the end result. Scentsy isn't your destination. Scentsy isn't your life-changing moment. Scentsy is the way to your life-changing moment. The opportunity that you have in front of you can and will change your life if you want it to. Can and will change your life if you work it consistently for a long period of time and staying committed. It will change your life and it will change the life of those around you. Knowing your why and the what if will drive your fall so unbelievably. When I was chatting with Martha just a little bit, I asked her what she wanted, like what it was that you guys wanted. She said incentive trips. I will tell you, I am passionate about incentive trips. And Mark Tenney, who's now sitting a couple spaces over from me, will do the same thing. When we joined Scentsy, I didn't even know what the incentive trips were. I just was selling Scentsy because I liked it. I was just selling Scentsy because I liked it. No, my sponsor was in Oklahoma. Facebook, we didn't have a Facebook group then. That didn't happen for a couple of years. It was not formal training. There wasn't a training center. We didn't have any of the tools really, I feel like, that we have now besides basket parties. That was a thing. But when I found out that I was working toward Disney the first time around, how hard I worked to earn that trip, but the reward of going on that trip and what I learned and what I want you to take away. If incentive trips is something you're like, oh, it was so exciting when they launched at Reunion and we were like, yeah, we're all going to go on a cruise. And then they gave us that tracker that night, which we never get. They give us the points almost automatically. It was so exciting. Everything felt doable. And then August hit, right? It's hot. It's back to school. It's wrapping up all your projects. It's like, oh my gosh, fall's here already. It's all of your commitments that are ending and then restarting because, we have to have all our new back to school commitments. And then all of a sudden you're in the thick of life. It's like going to church camp and everybody's like, oh, I love Jesus. And you come home and it's like, oh, it's real life here. You're going on vacation and everything's relaxing. And you wake up the next morning, you have to clean the house that you're staying at to get back in the car and take a 20-hour car drive home. You're like, oh, reality just sinks in of real life, right? It's the same with the incentive trip. They announce it. We're excited. We're going for it. And then it's like, oh my gosh, I got to work this hard to get there. August hits. It's hot. I'll work on it tomorrow. September comes in with a punch. You're excited. You're working your business. October, you're looking at those points. You're like, I don't know. Okay. You start to resign to it. January will come around here and be like, oh my gosh, I'm 5,000 points away. How am I going to earn this trip? I'm 5,000 points away. Because it's a long process. They give us 6 months for a reason. These incentive trips, I will tell you, without a doubt, and Martha knows she went to Greece, life-changing. It was incredible. But even the non-top 100 trips, we did Disney, Punta Cana, Whistler, Greece. I was pregnant, so we missed the cruise. We did the reunion, and then Disney and Punta Cana again. And those trips, going on a free vacation, spending time with your friends or your spouse or your mom. I love when people take their parents. I love it because I think what an incredible bonding experience. Or when their kids are older and they get to take their children. I just think how awesome is that? But when we went on our first trip, it was Cancun, out of the country, right? Yeah, our first trip was Cancun. I couldn't believe I got to get a passport. Me. Why would I get to get a passport? I was a pastor's wife. We made no money. But no, I had a passport. And you know how many stamps I have on that sucker now? I've like Mexico 4 times, and Greece, and Punta Cana twice, and soon, and Canada, because of Whistler. And soon it's going to be the cruise. And you want to know how I'm going to do that? I'm going to work my today for my tomorrow. Every single day that you wake up in your business and you say, all right, this is it. It's game time. I'm going to work. I'm going to do 3 small projects, 3 simple things. I'm going to be laser focused. And every day that you get up and you work your business today, you work your business for tomorrow. And every day that you get up and you make excuses and you say, I'll work out tomorrow. I'll work out tomorrow. I'll work out tomorrow. Guess what? In a year, you're stuck a year ago. You're stuck in your yesterday. You can't move forward if you don't choose to work for your tomorrow. So when you get up in your business and you say, you know what, I'm going to work on those samples today. I'm going to follow up. You can break it down so simple. The beauty of the business is it's your business. You do what you want with it. So you can say, I'm going to follow up with 1 recruit every single day. Check, 1 off. Check, 2 off. Every single day, 3 things you're going to focus on. When you work your business today, you work for your tomorrow. And when you don't work your business today, you're working for yesterday. And I will tell you, if you've been in for a while and you've ever slowed down, you've come to like that resting place where you can either pick up and move forward, or you could just stay where you're at. The longer you stay there, the harder it is to move forward. And if you haven't been in a long time and you want to build a business and you want to earn a cruise and you want something of value for your business, then you have to always say, okay, today was good. Today was enough, but tomorrow will be there. And I have to do the same thing tomorrow. And you have to do that every single day. Never coming to a place where you're like, I'm just going to take a break. I'm just going to plateau. Because the reality is this business builds on itself. The momentum can be incredible. And I want to give you an example of that. I wrote this down for my directors the other day. People who wanted to hit director. And I talked with Jason Harwood and was asking about what the requirements, not requirements, what is average? What should you be working toward? And in that moment, I had this incredible thought. It's awesome. Oh my gosh, why don't I function this way in the first place? And that was, the business really does build on itself. And I did some number crunching. I'm trying to find it because I posted it to my director group, giving them a challenge of what I wanted them to do every month to hit director. And I don't know if that's something you guys want to hear, but I want to give you an example of how you could go from 1 to 32 people in the next 6 months, which sounds probably crazy, but it really, when you set an example, when you set a standard, If somebody joins your team and you're like, okay, first thing you're going to do is you're going to work toward your 500, and next month you're going to work toward your 500. Every month you want to be at 500, because 500 is like the best place to be. It's cash in your pocket. It's leadership level. They are going to begin to imitate the things that you expect from them. There's a quote that says, children have never been good at listening to their elders, but they've never failed to imitate them. And that's exactly what it is for your team. What you set as a standard, your team naturally, now not everybody, but as a group, your team will naturally follow what you do as a leader. $500 by the 15th every single month. You start shouting that out. You start saying, guys, I'm at 700 by the 15th. 500 is the goal. Everybody get to 500. What you're going to start seeing month over month over month is your team is going to grow in 500 by the 15th. If you had 20 people, you're at director numbers. If 20 people in your group did 500, that is insane if that just becomes your standard. So if every month, say today, you're one person by yourself, you have one team, and you say, okay, I'm going to recruit one person in September. Here's my goal personally. My goal is going to be to flip a host every single month. Just one host. That's it. My goal is going to be to have one person join my team. And I'm going to teach every single person that I recruit to do the same thing. You're going to flip one host. You're going to say, do you want to join my team? You were really great at this. Oh my gosh, you love the product. Your party was $500. You totally already get your kit back. This is incredible. You can work toward the trip. Whatever your reason for inviting them to join your team is, okay? One person. This isn't even saying find a recruit. It's saying flip a host. You have a host. They love the product. That is your number. All of my directors came from parties. All of my directors. August is 1. That's you. September is 2. That's you and your new recruit. Watch what happens. October, you're at 4 because you recruit one more and your recruit recruits one more. They're flipping their hostesses. Then November, you're at 8. You're like, all right, we're at 8 people. This is awesome. That means you've recruited 3 people for the cruise. That's 3,000 points if they certify right there, which they're going to because they're building a business, because you're telling them how awesome it is to build a business. Sensational start level 2 or 3. That could be 3,000 points. That's 9,000 points for the cruise. You are a third of the way there just by recruiting. How awesome is that? But wait, what happens? December, if you do this with your team, guys, let's do 500 a month and let's recruit one hostess. Let's flip one hostess. You're at 16. But then guess what happens? January hits. You do the same thing. You're at 32. You, not your group, not your upline, and your sideline. You are at 32. What happens when you have those 32 people and they do the same thing in a year? All 32. Do you know how incredible your growth would be if that just is your expectation? Because when you work your business and you work it for tomorrow, your result is going to be incredible. And this was literally an aha moment to me 7.5 years later. I asked my husband, I had this 2 days ago. I was like, why have I not been doing this every single month? Flipping one hostess and teaching my teams to do the exact same thing.
Wow.
I just think the compounding thought process is incredible and motivating, and it's tangible. You can do that. If I could do it in the beginning, you can do it now. Because I feel like Scentsy has so much room for growth. And when I look at numbers and I look at my team, where we are, we probably make up, I don't know, I have 1,000 people in my group, 200 people probably are in the Newark area, 300 are in Columbus. That's my greater 20-mile area. Just here, all of my prospective recruits right now are in Newark, where I live.
Oh, wow.
There is still room for growth where I live. If there is room for growth where I live, there is room for growth where you live. I can totally guarantee it. So I just wanted to encourage you guys tonight that your story matters, your what if matters, your why matters. And if you want to earn this cruise, every day you work a little bit. You set up yourself a goal, you will earn the cruise. And you will build a team that is so strong. And you're not even just working toward the cruise. You're working for next year's incentive. Because every year that you work your business intentionally, you're working for your next year, not even just tomorrow. And that will bless you exponentially.
Wow. That was amazing. Now, do you have that in writing for that, building that momentum of that? Is that something you have in writing you could share with me?
Absolutely.
Okay. You can
Absolutely.
just want to message it to me or something.
Totally. Yes, I'd love to.
That's an amazing plan.
I just think it's just simple compounding.
Yes.
You know?
Does anyone have any questions?
Sorry, I know I'm long-winded.
Wow.
No, you were awesome. We have about 6 minutes left, so I want to see if you guys had any questions you want to ask Kelly. See, you were that amazing.
I'm going to send you this whole thing, just so you know. Thank you so much for having me to chat with you guys.
It was awesome. You are so inspiring.
Yes.
Thank you. Thank you for staying up till 2 o'clock in the morning. That is just insane.
Yes, just to listen all your story.
You're in the UK?
Yes.
That's awesome.
I'm still in certified consultant. I want to, you know.
You will.
You could, and she could even this fall. I mean, you could hit director this fall. If you just have momentum and grow, I've seen it for my own directors. Just that excitement. If you're up at 2 o'clock in the morning for a training, I'd say you're on the right path.
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. That could totally be you, Lorena. Totally.
Absolutely.
Yeah, you can do it. And I mean, you are so dedicated. So dedicated.
Thank you. Oh, that makes me cry. For all.
Do it. We believe in you.
Absolutely.
Yeah. All right. Does anyone have any questions? I think I unmuted everybody. Let me make sure here. Hold on. Oops, hold on. Oh, all right. Now everyone is unmuted. Okay. Now, does anyone have any questions? Look at your pretty faces tonight. You guys are so awesome. All righty. I guess we will. Thank you, Kelly. We appreciate you.
Thank you. You guys, I can't wait to cruise with you guys.
Yes.
Thank you. Bye.
Thank you everyone for being on our call tonight. We appreciate you guys. You guys are awesome. Thank you.
Thank you, Martha. Thank you for inviting me again. Thanks.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye, guys. Thank you.
Bye.